Hey guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube, and today I'm going to do a new series on my channel called Whatever Happened to That Palette Wednesday. So obviously today is Wednesday and we're asking ourselves, whatever happened to that palette? Today, in this day and age, we're always about the new, the next best thing, and we sometimes forget about those palettes that we bought that we had to have and we used once or twice and then never again. So today's tutorial is going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this palette, and when it first came out I used it all the time and then I forgot about it. So this is what the palette looks like. It has a lot of neutral tones with some berries and some pinks, and I really like this palette. So this is what we're going to dive in today. I was actually watching some tutorials for inspiration on color combinations, and Rachel Leary here on YouTube did like a pink and a coppery eye, and I just thought I could probably do that with the Modern Renaissance palette. She used a different palette in her tutorial, but I thought what better palette to pull out for my first Whatever Happened to That Palette Wednesday than the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia. So that's the one we're going to start with today. So first and foremost, I already primed my face using my Makeup Revolution Blur Primer, which I also used my Glam Glow Illuminating Moisturizer as usual. And I already primed my eyebrows with, or not primed them, filled them in. I've done that a few times with my e.l.f. eyebrow pencil. And yeah, I think that's all I've done so far. So first and foremost, we're going to go in with our MAC paint stick, which you guys know that I love. It's just a bright white emollient base that really makes any eyeshadow stick, pop, and it keeps it from creasing as long as you don't use too much product. Next, we're going to go in with our Real Technique sponge, which I use to just blend it out and to remove any excess product, because I don't want too much. Like I said, if I put too much of it, which I usually do, then it will crease. So this ensures that I take off the product that I don't need, because I always tend to go in with too much at first. And today I'm wearing my headband to keep my excuse me, my hair out of my face, because I couldn't be bothered to do my hair today. It's a dreary, rainy day, and I just kind of wanted to lounge around, but I also wanted to dive into some makeup. So let's get started. So we're going to go into the Modern Renaissance palette, like I said, and we're going to go in first with this shade Bon Fresco. I'm going to use the Morphe B81. It's a tapered blending brush, but it gets thinner at the top. So we're going to use that, and we're going to start on the outer V and place most of the pigment out there, and then we're going to go a little bit into the crease and just take whatever pigment is left on the brush into the center, but keeping most of the color on the outer. So that's what you should have now. Do the same thing on the other side. And then now that we've placed the first color, I'm going to go in with our tape. I like to place the first color first because it gives me more of an idea of where I'm going to want to place that tape. So I have the tape on the back of my hand so that we don't have quite as much stickiness. I'm going to place that on either side. Some people use shadow shield, some people don't use anything, some people just wipe it away with a makeup wipe. I personally like the tape method the best. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that Bon Fresco shade, and I'm going to just deepen up the outside part. So if you guys watched yesterday's video, I got a little crazy because I hadn't slept, but I have now slept. I still might be a little crazy, you never know. I think it's fun to be crazy, right? So now we're going to go into the shade Venetian Red, which is right here. And we're going to pop that on top of Bon Fresco, but we're not going to go in as far. And we're going to use the same brush. And that's a beautiful wine burgundy shade, which I love. And I haven't decided if I'm going to go coppery, like on the inner corner, or if I'm going to go in with like a pink, or both. Who knows? Just going to do the same thing on the other side. We're not, like I said, we're not going in as far with this shade as we did with Bon Fresco. And then we're going to go in a little bit with Love Letter, which is here. It's a little bit of a brighter red, more of like a pinkish red. And we're just going to take that and put it in the same area that we put Venetian Red. Okay. So we should have that as of right now. And then last but not least, we're going to deepen it up just with a tiny bit of Cypress Umber right here in the outer part, which is a brown. I don't want to add too much of that, but just a little bit on the very, very outer portion. See how that deepened it up just a little bit? Going in with the same brush. Okay. I think I'm gonna go in on this one side with a little bit more of Love Letter. I feel like I didn't go in as far. Sometimes difficult because, like I've said before, my eyes are two different shapes. Okay. Then we're gonna go in with, where did it go? Here it is, our Elf eyeshadow C brush, which is a flat shader brush. And we're gonna go into the shade Vermeer right here, which is like a shimmery, light pinky, almost just a nude shade, but with like a hint of pink. And we're gonna highlight our brow bone with that shade. I know for me, I find that it's really hard with as much makeup as I review and as much makeup as I buy. I know that it's always difficult to remember to go back in with palettes that I used to love. So I really want to promote that because I think it's important. I think I'm going in with a little bit more Venetian Red. I'm just going to bring back that red tone a little bit more because I feel like it got a little bit too brown with the Cypress Umber. Okay, there we go. I like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the Kat Von D Metal Crush Highlighter Palette, which I put back in the box for my haul video. And I'm going to take the Violet Voss Glitter Adhesive. And I'm just going to pop that on the lid right to where that red meets. Or where that red ends or starts. Okay. And then I'm going to take that e.l.f. C brush again. We're going to go into the Metal Crush Highlighter Palette. And we're going to take this rosy shade right here. It's called Rose Shock. And I'm going to take it on the flat shader brush, just coat that. And we're just going to place that on the lid. It's beautiful. I've seen people use this as an eyeshadow before. I personally have not yet, but it really gives a very like vibrant light pink color, and it's gorgeous. I love it. Gonna do the other side. Okay. And now we're going to go in with our Morphe M433. And I'm going to go back into a combination of Venetian Red and Love Letter. And I'm just going to blend that line so there isn't such a harsh line between the pink shade and the burgundy. And I think this is such a beautiful look, but pretty simple to do, to achieve. Now, the only question is to glitter or not to glitter. I think it's so pretty on its own, and I think I'm going to leave it alone, actually. I think I'm going to, for once, do a more neutral look. So, we are done with the upper eyelid. You don't really have a lower eyelid, so I guess we're just done with the eyelid, right? Okay, now we're going to go into our makeup wipes. I'm going to grab one of those. And we're just going to remove any fallout that we might have had, which is actually not a lot. And I'm going to remove any excess eyeshadow base that I put down. And pat that out. Okay. Once I put on my foundation, I'm going to put a little bit more of that Rose Shock in the inner corner as well. So today for foundation, we are going to go in with a mixture that I really love, which is the Infallible Total Cover by L'Oreal and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. In the Total Cover, I'm a 301. And in L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, I'm 101. I don't really know how their shading works because in the Pro Glow Foundation, I'm 201. So I guess, I don't know. Or 20, actually I have it right here, 202. So I don't really know how their shading works. But anyhow, I'm going to take a little bit of each of those. And I'm going to take a little bit more of the Pro Matte than the Pro Total Coverage. I'm just going to swirl that around, mix them together. The Total Coverage is a little bit thicker than the Pro Matte in consistency, so you really have to blend them together well. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my Sonia Kashuk sponge and start stamping that on. If you haven't seen Rachel Leary, you should definitely check her out. She's hilarious and so adorable, and I love her channel. can hear my chihuahua snoring away like a grandpa. Again. She's always sleeping. Do you guys have dogs that always sleep? I shouldn't say always. She plays hard with her babies, her toys. She loves stuffed animals. And then she falls asleep for hours. So I guess that's normal, right? But she's so freaking cute. And she knows. Like, people say, oh, dogs don't know things, but they know things. They do. Because my dog, if you say give hugs and kisses, she knows what you're talking about. She will give hugs and kisses, and she knows the difference between hugs and kisses. So now I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution concealer. And I think I've made up my mind about it. I think I love it. I mean, I knew that I loved the formula from the beginning, but I thought, is it worth it? Because you're buying, because I do go through a tube of this fairly quicker than I would another concealer, but honestly, it's $7. You could buy 3 of them and still spend $3 less than you would on one thing of Shape Tape. So even if you go through it a little bit faster, I think you're still spending less money. I placed an order from Makeup Revolution, or I guess now it's revolution.com US, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial using primarily Makeup Revolution. I'm really excited. I don't know if I told you guys that in another video. Sometimes they smoosh together. But I'm really excited about it. I was going to use the peach powder, but I feel like I've been using that a lot, and I do have a ton of setting powders. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Ethereal Born This Way setting powder. And I have so many setting powders. I feel like I got into the setting powder kick. Actually, I want to buy the Hourglass setting powder. They just came out with a translucent setting powder, and I'm so excited, and I want to try it because I love some of their products, not all. I tried the Vanish Stick foundation, which I can't stand, to be honest. Actually, before I set my face, I'm gonna cream contour. This is the Hula Stick. I don't do a whole lot on my nose, but okay. And but yeah, they have a new translucent setting powder, so I figure when I go to return that peach palette at Sephora, I'm gonna pick it up. I'll let you guys know how it works. I'm just always on the hunt for good setting powders. And even when I find one that I absolutely love, like I love the ethereal one, I love the peach one, but I feel like I still always want to try out, I got some fuzz in my hair. I feel like I always want to try out, okay, really? It's not going away. Is dog fuzz. Okay. My chihuahua tends to sleep on my pillow, so I get her hair in my hair. But yeah, I want to try it out. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can never have enough. I feel like I can never have enough setting powder, and I feel like I can never have enough highlighters, and I feel like I can never have enough eyeshadow palettes. Who am I kidding? I feel like I can never have enough of anything makeup related. Oh, I'm obsessed with it. It's funny. I don't even know how I got this way, to be honest with you, because my mom barely wears makeup ever. Ever. I remember I used to watch my Auntie Livy do her makeup, but she doesn't, I mean, she does like mascara, lips, you know, foundation, just a little bit of blush. You know, she doesn't go crazy with like eyeshadow or anything like that. But she is the first person that I remember watching do her makeup when I would go visit. And I just remembered being like, oh, like, because she had these, like a container, you know, those clear containers with like all the compartments. She had one on her sink. And I remember thinking, oh gosh, I would love to have one of those just filled with makeup. But other than that, I don't really, none of my friends growing up were super into makeup. I mean, they liked it to an extent, but maybe when I got into high school, more people wore makeup. But I actually didn't wear makeup until I was out of high school. I wore a little bit on picture day in high school, but until I was like 19, I think I didn't wear any makeup. I wasn't allowed to. So I'm gonna take this Too Faced teddy bear hair powder brush and just knock off any excess powder. And but yeah, so I don't really know where I got my love my voice today. I don't know where I got my love of makeup from, because like I said, my mom just doesn't wear it, but I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So now I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Smoldering Eye Pencil. You guys know I love this. And I'm going to put that in my, oh wait, yeah, I'm going to put that in my waterline. I was thinking I was going to use something different, like a nude on a tight line as well. My mom wears minimal makeup. Like my parents sing in a choir. And so my mom, when she has a concert, like she'll put on a little bit of foundation and she'll put on a little bit of, you know, lipstick, a little bit of blush. I'm just going to smudge that out with this tiny, what is it? It just says Vera Mona, but it doesn't have a name or a number on it. I'm just going to smudge that out before I put eyeshadow on top of it. So she'll do just a little bit for her concerts or an event, but other than that, she never wears makeup. So I'm going in with Love Letter, and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. On top of that eyeliner, and smudge it out even further. So yeah, I don't know. I must have just fallen in love with it. And I can't do any other form of art. I can't paint, I can't draw, I can't. My mom was like, oh, Anya used to be such a great artist when she was younger. And she has pictures hanging up in her house that I drew when I was little. And I'm like, you want me to recreate those for you? Because I still draw the same way. So, yeah. Now I'm taking this Urban Decay eyeliner in the color Heartless. It's just a very light shimmery pink, and I'm putting that in the inner corner. It's going to serve as a base for the Kat Von D Metal Crush eyeshadow color that I'm going to go in with this MAC pencil brush. But yeah, if I were to create one of my masterpieces today, oh, that's so pretty, you guys. It would look exactly the same as it did when I was like 5. So, makeup is pretty much the only form of art that I can do. I'm okay with that. I mean, sometimes I wish I could paint and draw and things like that, because it's hard when you're trying to do makeup that is more like a special effects makeup, or a makeup that is what am I trying to say, a makeup that is like if you're trying to draw a sugar skull on your face or something, let's say. If you have no artistic ability, you know, it's kind of hard to do that kind of makeup. But I am gonna try, and I did something for Halloween this past year, and I was pretty happy with it for me. So I'm going in with this. This is the Too Faced little black book of bronzers. I believe they still have it on their website, and basically it's all of their bronzers in mini form. So I really like it because I really wanted to be able to get some of their bronzers, but I didn't want to spend just like $30 on one bronzer. So I'm going in with the Milk Chocolate and the Chocolate Soleil, which is, let's see if I can do this better, these two down here. And I'm going to use those on top of where I put the cream contour. Don't worry, we'll blend that out. And I'm using the Morphe E8, which is, I believe, a contour brush. That's what I use it for. Okay, do a little bit on this forehead, which whenever I put my hair back, I feel like my forehead looks gigantic. I was at CVS one day, and the lady who was working there was like, "Oh, hi, I love your hair." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she said, "But you should get bangs." And I was like, "Oh, really? Okay. Why is that?" And she said, "Because you have a really big forehead." I was like, who says that to somebody? So ever since then, I'm like, oh, I have a big forehead. I never even thought about my big forehead before you, lady. Thank you so much. So I'm going in with this contour brush from Real Techniques that you've seen me use before. And I'm just kind of buffing that out further. And then I'm actually going to use the powder brush from Too Faced, the teddy bear hair, because I just want to really blow out that bronziness. It's hard to bronze my skin because I'm so pale. I try. I think it actually worked fairly well today. Okay. So yeah, I couldn't believe she said that. That's kind of like when you go, well, it's not as bad in my opinion, but it's kind of like when you go to the store and people are like, oh, actually I'll tell you a specific story about this. So, I'm going to go in with my Coastal Scents blush palette, and I'm going to go into this one and just mix them together. So my husband and I were at the bank getting out money from the ATM one day. And this was while I was losing weight. And as I was losing weight, I lost a lot of weight in the rest of my body, but not my stomach. So we're sitting at the bank, and we'd just come out of the ATM, and this woman and her family were having trouble getting their car door shut because their kid had enabled the child locks with the door open. So they were like, oh, we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything. And I was like, oh, that's awful, like maybe we should help them. So my husband started to help them, and I was holding a flashlight. It was at night. And the woman is like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that in your condition. I was like, what condition is that, ma'am? Well, you know, the baby. And the husband is like, no, be quiet. And she's like, I mean, you know, you're going to have a baby soon. And the husband is like, stop it, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm actually not pregnant. And she was like, oh, but you just had a baby then, right? No, ma'am, I've never had a baby before in my life. Thank you. And her husband was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. But unless you see the baby coming out or somebody is telling you that they're pregnant, don't ask them if they're pregnant. Don't assume that they're pregnant. I was like, nope, I'm not pregnant, just fat. And she felt so bad. But, you know, that's why I never say anything personally. And I can understand why she thought I was pregnant because, like I said, I was losing weight everywhere except for in my midsection. So maybe it did look like I was pregnant, but it was just funny how she continued and continued, and the husband was just like, will you just shut up? This is my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I feel like I don't even need to say that anymore, unless somebody is just now coming to my videos, so maybe I should continue to say it. Ooh, I feel like my eye is watering. Okay, there we go. I feel like I had something in my eye and I got it. Okay, so we're gonna remove the crusties from our lips. Why do I continue to say crusties? That's not what I mean. I mean the foundation that is sitting on our lips. And we're gonna grab our Kat Von D highlighter palette and our Peach Mist spray, which I still didn't have an issue with the white spots, so I don't know. I think it's because of the distance that I'm holding it away from my face. Whew, that's... Whew, okay. Now we're gonna go in with our, you guessed it, Rowan Langnickel Highlight and Glow brush and go into that Rose Shock. And we're gonna put that on the top of our cheeks, right above where our blush is. That is so freaking beautiful. We need a backup of this. Stat. Oh gosh, I just love it so much. A little bit here, so I can make my forehead bigger. On the nose. Sometimes I don't like using pink highlighter on my nose because sometimes I feel like the shade of pink just looks weird on my nose, or like the high points of my face, like my forehead, and I'll go in with a different highlighter just in those spots. But I feel like this, with this highlighter, I feel like it works. I'm gonna spray my face one more time. I also feel like if you shake that enough, it's also not gonna leave spots on your face. Okay, so lip combo. Porcelain here on YouTube was wearing this combo in a video, and I was like, hey, I have both of those shades, I'm gonna use them. So I'm using Diva from the Jeffree Star Family Collection. This color is named after one of his dogs. And I'm going over top of it once it dries with the Jouer Lip Topper in Sweet Tooth, which was a collab with Jeffree Star. You can also go in with a nude, but I wanted to tie in all the pink. I have actually never used this shade since I bought it. I left it in the box that it came in, which is adorable. It looks like a little house. And I just kind of forgot about it. I feel like this is a little bit of a different consistency, but hold on, maybe it's because it's been in there for, it's been just sitting in the same position for a little bit. Mix it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, alright. So, I take it back, it's the same formula. I do feel like some of his shades are a little bit of a different formula. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I just feel like some of them are really liquidy and some of them are more dry. I'm just gonna let that dry for a second. Okay. Yep, that dries actually really quickly. Then I'm going on top of it. The Sweet Tooth, which just makes your lips look so juicy, no matter who you are and what your lips look like naturally. I love it. Love this look. It's more neutral than what I'm used to or what you're used to from me, but I do like it, and I hope you guys liked it too. And I hope you guys liked using a palette that, you know, you maybe haven't used in a while, or maybe this is the palette you use all the time, but this is a palette I bought a long time ago, used a long time ago, and since then I've gotten so many others that I kind of forgot about it. So I hope you enjoyed the first installment of Whatever Happened to That Palette Wednesday, and let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and share. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care, guys.